So I made a Derpy Charlie on stream yesterday, and I thought I'd go over the process. As with all things, they all start with boxes, which I then add a mirror modifier and a subdivide on. When I start out, I actually start out with the torso. I use E, which is extrude, and G, grab, to basically add more geometry. Once I'm done with the torso, I actually create like a rounded area to bring out the legs and then shape the legs. I do kind of the same thing for everything, so I do that for the feet. I just grab the polygons I want and then I hit E for extrude and G for grab. Here I add a cylinder, and because the mirror modifier is on, it adds it on both ends, and I extrude that to make an arm. I do the same thing for the hand where I'm adding a palm and I shape the palm. Control R will add a ring cut, so that adds more geometry there. Add a cone and shape it into the finger, and then I duplicate that with Shift D, Shift D, Shift D, and add my other fingers. At the top of the torso, I extrude out some geometry and round it to make the neck, and then E extrude to add more geometry to bring out the head. Then I add a polygon and start shaping basically the bangs here, giving her floof. Once I'm happy with that, I actually add a sphere, and I use a soft selection tool, which is O, and shortcut key O, and I slowly shape her hair. I add a second and third sphere and shape the bottom one to be kind of a ponytail shape. I then add some more cylinders and turn them into her hair bands. Once I'm happy with that, I add a box and I delete the middle polygon so they can connect together, and I shape that into the bow tie here. Now here is the lapel, I think they're called. We argued about that on stream. So I add the lapel, has a separate geometry, and I add the bottom of her jacket in the same way. Once I'm done with that, I add a reference image and I fix some of the problems I had with the sizing. Now I add some lines here with the solidify modifier, and I'm basically unwrapping here by selecting edges and hitting Control E and marking them as seams. Once I've finished unwrapping, I basically make a texture that is the main color of the part I'm going to text, so that way I only have to paint a little bit of it. I finish the painting here. I'll do the hair. Hair's a little bit more detailed here. I draw in the lines and the highlights, and here I add a grease pencil, which is what I do the face in, because I do a kind of a 2D puppet on the face instead of creating a rig. So here I am setting up the grease pencil, creating the textures, and I'm using a sculpt here to basically make it perfect. I draw out all the different layers so I can make a 2D puppet, and there is our Charlie.